What's up, guys? It's Will from RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, coming to you today to talk about college, specifically 9 reasons why you shouldn't go to college. This is for the young men of YouTube, or the young guys reading my website, or the young guys listening to me on SoundCloud or iTunes. With that said, if you are under 18 and you are living in your parents' house, this is a decision that you have to make with your parents, okay? You have to be able to sell your parents on why college isn't a good idea. And the reason I say that is I don't want to get a bunch of angry emails and phone calls from your mom and dad. They provide for your living. If they're putting a roof over your head and providing for you financially, then their opinion has to be taken into account, and you have to negotiate with them. If you want to move out onto your own and you want to work and you want to pay your own bills, hey, that is up to you. But while you are under 18 and while you are living in your parents' house, at the end of the day, their word is what goes, because they are paying for you. You exist because they put a roof over your head. If you've got the balls and you've got the mental toughness to move out, and you are, ready to go and you're ready to pay your own way, then that's a different story. But again, if you're going to move out, even if you're going to move out, I'd strongly suggest that this is something that you sit down with your parents and you sell them on why you're not going to go, and what you're going to do instead. That's not sit around and smoke weed and jerk off. Okay, you want them to be on your side, because it's going to be a difficult thing, because you're going against the grain. And if you're going to start your own business and you're going to go right into the workforce, you're going to be doing what a lot of people are going to tell you not to do. So the more your parents are on your side, the better this is going to be. Okay, that disclaimer out of the way, I want to tell you why I think it's not a good idea to go to college. And I just want you to remember, I am just a guy on the internet. I'm also a college dropout. My only regret is that I actually went. Okay, I wish that I didn't even drop out. I wish that I never went. Okay, here's how it is. Most guys are taught from birth that college is the natural extension of your school life, and only losers drop out or don't go. You're taught that to get a good job, you need a 4-year degree in a subject that's irrelevant in the real world, so that you can become a wage slave for a faceless corporation. And if you don't go to college, you're going to be shamed by your parents and your friends, and you're told that you earn less than your peers. But what if you're like me and you hated school? I love the social aspect, but I fucking hated school and I couldn't wait to get out. And that feeling never changed since I was forced to sit still as a young boy with a lot of energy, all the way to the end of high school. I wanted to never have to sit in a classroom again, because I fucking hated it. Okay? What if you don't like school? What if you're the kind of guy that doesn't want another 4 years in the prime of your life, trapped indoors, regurgitating useless shit from textbooks so that you can get a piece of paper with your name on it? What if you're the kind of guy who wants to start your own business and become financially independent without ever having to call another man your boss, and have done that while your friends are still sitting in a classroom racking up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of debt? Okay, then maybe college isn't for you. So, if you're not convinced yet, let me give you 9 reasons. Number 1, cost. The average cost of a college education, including room and board, is $40,000. Okay, that's $160,000 over 4 years. With that amount of money, you could have bought a house with no mortgage. You could have invested in a thriving business. You could have bought a medium-term bond fund, giving you enough passive income to live comfortably in Thailand. The situation is even more grim if you've taken on debt. Okay, that means that after you graduate, not only will you be a corporate wage slave, but you're going to spend the next 10 years paying off your loans as a debt slave, and that's if you're lucky. Some people carry those college loans into their 40s and 50s. welcome to the system. Okay, the system loves when you go into debt for college. The system loves to sell you a credit card at your college. Okay, they have booths for that. They want you never to be free. Okay, they want you never to have a free day in your life. That is the ideal. You go from public school to high school to college straight into the workforce, and you've already gone in with debt. Okay, and then they want you to buy a mortgage, and they want you to buy a car on debt, and that's it. Now you're never getting out. Now you're probably not going to be able to start your own business, and you're just going to be a cog in the fucking machine, and you're going to be paying 3, 4, 5 times the cost of the asset that you bought in interest. Okay, that's what they want from you. They want you to be in debt. They just don't want you to default on your debt. They want you to have just enough to pay your minimum monthly balance every month. That is the system's dream. They want everyone on that plan. Number 2, indoctrination. So you'd think that 16 years of state-sponsored schooling would be enough indoctrination for most people, but it doesn't seem like that. Okay, you want more indoctrination, so you go get a 4-year extension of your state-sponsored reality tunnel that's going to prepare you for being a good little fucking wage slave. Okay, it means that living in an environment that promotes a socialist agenda enforced by politically correct doublespeak from people who have no experience in the real world and have been protected by that same state-sponsored monopoly in the field of education. This is an environment designed to curb your freedoms as a man and shame your natural instincts. Instead of learning from textbooks and absorbing collectivist propaganda in a top-down system, you have access to the most liberating technology in the history of man, the internet. Once you learn the important skills like how to become self-actualized and how to live like a man, how to succeed, why not educate yourself in what you're really interested in? Why not teach yourself what you want to do with life? Okay, why not skip all the irrelevant classes that you have to take, all the electives, all the bullshit that's not going to be relevant to your life? You don't need a liberal arts education. The liberal arts education was designed for aristocrats to have something to talk about at parties and to help rule the vast majority of people. You do not need a liberal arts education. If you want to learn about history, you can read it on the internet. If you want to learn about politics, you can read it on the internet. Okay? I'm not saying that having a degree in history is not an asset. I'm not saying that an academic and renowned historian knows a lot more about history than I do, guaranteed. But unless you're pursuing a career in academia, that advanced degree is not the best use of your time. Okay, I'm going to get to why that is in the next couple points. But first, we've got to talk about number 3. You start at the bottom of the social pyramid. So freshman year in college is like the first year of high school. You enter as scared fish at the bottom of the social ladder and have a month or two to desperately climb the rungs before the positions solidify. You then spend the next 4 years maintaining and jockeying for position, and this is going to take as much time as a part-time job, but without the money. This is great if you're near the top of the pyramid with access to tons of hot college girls. If you are an intelligent quarterback and you're the star football player, you're going to have a great time. But the vast majority of guys, and chances are if you're reading this article or you're listening to this on SoundCloud or watching this on YouTube, this is not going to be you. Okay? Many people stress the social bond developed at college, but with day game and the internet, you're going to have more girls than you need. Okay? It is the easiest time in the history of the world to pick up women. You've got Tinder, where you can just order girls to your house and they come. Okay, you've got a million dating sites. You've got day game, where you can just, if you live in a big city, you can just walk up to a girl on the street and get her phone number. For friendship, all you need is a couple cool guys to hang out with, and you can easily have all your social needs met. Okay, you don't need to spend 40 hours a week building and maintaining a social circle that is going to disintegrate after college, okay? People talk about these long-term bonds. I don't have one friend from university, okay? I have two childhood friends and one guy that I used to work with, and those are the only people I keep in touch with. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, you might have a couple guys that you were friends with in college, but the vast majority of those friendships are going to be gone. And the vast majority of your high school friendships are going to be gone. Okay, but the social argument is not good because the majority of guys, first of all, you're going to start at the bottom, and second of all, the majority of guys are not going to make it to the top. And living life at the bottom is horrendous. Living life at the middle is you know, mediocre. But unless you can get into that top 10% of the popular guys, and you got to do that quick within the first couple months, this is not going to be any different than your high school experience. It's not going to be all that fun. You know, I happened to be popular in high school, but I can't put that on my fucking resume. You know, and even then, it took me and my crew like 3 years to get to that point. When we started off in grade 9, you're the bottom of the social ladder. All the girls are dating older guys. You know, grade 9, grade 10, even like halfway through grade 11 were still rough years for me and my friends. And then, you know, as time went on, we became the more popular guys. But really, we really only enjoyed the last 2 years of high school to the extent that I would have wanted to enjoy them. So the social thing is that argument is not there as far as I'm concerned. Number 4, opportunity cost. By going to college, you sacrifice 4 years in the prime of your life for starting a business, and this is a massive time commitment. Okay, from 18 to 22, if you can get past the inertia that most guys have at that age, and you can get yourself focused, and you can focus on the pain of not having the things that you want, those are going to be the most productive years in your life if you can harness that. Because 14, 15, 16, 17, you're stuck in school, okay, you're stuck in high school, but 18 to 21, you're still a young man, and you have a young man's energy. When I was 18, I could go to the bar and I could drink till 3 o'clock, and I could wake up at 8 o'clock and still function. At 33, I wouldn't have a prayer of doing that. At 33, I need to do all kinds of things to be able to maintain my energy, and I need to have the right diet, and I need to have the right sleep, and I need to have the right exercise, and I need to take the right supplements. But as a young guy, you can be bursting with energy. So those 4 years of your life, you know, you're like a pro athlete. 18 to 21, that is your prime time. So having those years taken away from you, having those business building years taken away from you, that is a massive opportunity cost. Okay, those 4 years could have gone into your own business, and by the time your friends are graduating with $50,000 in student loans, you've got $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 of income coming into your business every year. Okay, so that, you know, and you can do it all without ever having to call another guy your boss. I'm telling you, the corporate world is not fun, guys. I spent almost a decade there. It is not fucking fun. I don't wish being a corporate salesman on anyone, except for a few people that I fucking hate, and I'm glad I'm still doing it, and they're worthless scumbags. I do not wish you guys to have to deal with that for a decade, or God forbid, your life, being a corporate salesman for a lifetime is hell. Okay, that's the only way I can describe it. If you are an alpha male, calling another man your boss is hell. All right, having to sit through neutered, boring, married people's jokes, gray, grim walls, the same fucking shit every day, breathing in recycled, non-fresh air, working under fluorescent lights, having your opinion count for nothing, doing the same mind-numbing fucking task every day. Shoot me in the head before I do that again. I wish I could convey to you how bad it is. I don't want you to have to go through almost a decade of what I did to be able to understand that. I want you to have to not go through that. All right? I want you to know that now and be able to spare you some of the pain that I've been through. Okay. Number 5, you learn irrelevant information. Unless your major is specialized or a practical skill, you're generally learning nothing that's going to help you in your financial success. A liberal arts education is completely useless at making you money. The only skill you're going to learn is how to spit facts from a textbook. Even if you take entrepreneurship, that guy's not a successful entrepreneur. You might have one successful entrepreneur come talk to you for once a quarter, but the guy who's teaching you about entrepreneurship is a fucking loser because he has never made a dime as an entrepreneur in his life and therefore is a hypocrite. Okay, that would be like me teaching you about science when I don't know anything about it, or it would be like me teaching you about being a professional athlete. I could read everything. I could read everything there is on being a pro athlete, but I've never been a pro athlete, so I could not tell you how to be a pro athlete. Does that make sense to you guys? You're gonna learn from people who are not real world success, who are not successful in the real world, and that is point number 6. Okay, your professor is not a winner. Otherwise, he wouldn't have spent 20 years wasting away in academia teaching fucking basket weaving. You know, better learn from a guy like M.J. DeMarco, who wrote The Fast Lane Millionaire. That's hands down the best book on building an online business. It sounds like a corny bullshit title, but he is the best. He runs a website called the Fastlane Forum. Again, a cheesy, scammy sounding website, but he's hands down the best. And this is a guy who made I think 10 or 15 million in the .com boom. So this guy made his money. He's got the facts to prove it, and he shows you how to be a real world success in his articles. You can also have a look at my article on how to start a service-based business. That would be my recommendation for the majority of guys who are looking to start a business. Start a service-based business. Do 400 cold calls a day. Sell real estate, sell insurance, shovel driveways, sell your programming skills. Okay, if you hustle, you can make 6 figures in almost any service-based business. If you are willing to bang the phone, if you're willing to do the Facebook geo-targeting, if you're willing to do the Google AdWords, if you've got a price point for your services that's above $300, okay, all you have to do is put in the 10-12 hours a day, and you're going to be at 6 figures within 2 to 3 years on your service-based business if you are, aggressively selling, maybe even earlier. Okay. Number 7, college promotes intellectualism. Having an intellect is fantastic. Okay, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an intellect. What I'm saying is you shouldn't define yourself as an intellectual. And that might sound counterintuitive to some of you guys. Of course, you want to be intelligent. I love to read. I pride myself to some degree on my intelligence, but I am not an intellectual. Because this is how it looks. Certain degrees, especially non-skill related advanced degrees, promote an intellectual viewpoint of the world. And what this does is it creates an analytical theoretician, otherwise known as an intellectual. So this is a guy who takes way too much pride in his intellect while denying his human emotions. Okay, I take some pride in my intellect, but at the end of the day, I work for my emotions. Okay, we are not rational creatures. All right, we serve our emotions. So my rationality exists so that I feel good. My primary purpose in life is my happiness. Okay, my primary thing that I serve is that emotion. It is not a sense of unearned pride on my intellect and how much I've read. Although those things are important to me, that is not the defining trait in my life. I would much rather be admired for what I accomplish in the world, for the business that I start, for the amount of guys that I can help in self-improvement. I'm actively engaged in life with women, with fitness, and all these different things. And living life is through the body and through the heart and through your fucking dick. You're not living in this ivory tower in your head of false objectivity and false rationality and cold calculations. You want to be engaged in life. Okay, being intelligent is important, but your intellect should be a tool for helping you live a dynamic and purpose-driven life. Okay, it's a tool for increasing your happiness, primarily in the three key areas: health, wealth, and relationships. Not for hiding behind a false position of detached superiority. Reading about politics, history, that stuff is great. I love reading about that stuff. But that is something I do in my spare time when I'm not engaged in the three areas of uh, producing my happiness, which are in health, wealth, and relationships. I am engaged in life, and the intellect is just one of my areas in life. It is not the area that I hang my hat on in terms of um, what defines me. Okay, that is a very good way to become unhappy. I mean, look at professors, look at scientists, look at hardcore academics. Do these guys look happy to you? Okay, I'm not saying the world doesn't need science, right? I'm not saying that the world doesn't need medical doctors. It's great that people want to do that. But I am a lifestyle designer, so I'm trying to give you the happiest life possible. And becoming an academic, becoming uh, a self-described intellectual is a very good way to not be happy. All right. Number 8, university, college promotes passive behavior. Okay, college teaches you to be really good at spitting facts back on a paper that you read in a textbook. This is excellent training for being a wage slave and taking orders from your boss that you regurgitate back into an Excel spreadsheet. So instead of learning passively, what you should be doing is being actively engaged in the real world and learning what really works and liberating yourself from that life of miserable servitude that you've had to deal with for the last 18, 19, 20 years of your life. Okay? Instead of throwing yourself right back into another form of slavery, get out there in the real world. Fucking travel, start a business, you know, get engaged in life. You don't have to sit in a fucking classroom anymore. Like, the second I realized I didn't have to sit in a classroom was one of the best points in my life. Like, I don't want to have to do this anymore. I don't want to have to sit in an office. I don't want to have to sit in a classroom. The sooner you get out of that and the sooner you get actively engaged in your own life, the better your life is going to be. And I'm telling you right now, from Thailand, from where it's gorgeous every day, and I don't have a job, and I work for myself, and I have passive income coming in every day. But I'm 33. I should have, you know, for you young guys who have all the advantages and you have all the blogs nowadays, and you have guys like me and Good Looking Loser and all these other guys, you could be way ahead of where I am at 33. You could be, you know, multi-millionaire. You could, I mean, the world is your oyster, okay? The entire world is yours, and you've got the internet connecting you to everyone, and you can travel anywhere you want and still have the same access to, you know, your business. The opportunities are unlimited, guys. So being in a place that promotes passive behavior is the last place that you should be. Number 9. This is similar to number 8, but advanced degrees promote stunted real-world development. Okay, the coolest, most amazing guys that I know, the most engaged guys in life, the most interesting guys in life, the most experienced guys in life, the guys with the best stories in life, do not have advanced degrees. Okay, that's because the average age of a PhD student is 33. That's me right now. Okay, I'm the average age of a PhD. That means I would just be getting out of fucking school by now. All right. Instead, I've worked 10 jobs. I've lived in different places. I've fucked hundreds of, almost 200 girls. I've started 6 businesses. Yes, this is my fucking 6th business. I've had more experiences than, you know, 10 average guys combined. I can't imagine if I would still be in school right now. I can't imagine the kind of, you know, soft, pussy-ass kind of person that I would have been being sheltered from the real world and never having to pay rent and never having to earn my living and never having to make money in the private sector and never having to try and make a business succeed and never having failed and never having, you know, recovered and all these different things that, made me strong and made me the person that I am today. I can tell you I would never be able to go live in Thailand because you are such a sheltered little pussy if you've been in school for 33 years. You're not living in the real world, okay? By 33, that's the age the majority of our ancestors were dead, okay? Civilization is only 6,000 years old. Human history is millions of years before that. 33 guy, the average guy was dead, okay? And you're just getting out of school. Even for a master's, you're still at 27, okay? By 32, Alexander the Great had already conquered most of the known world, and within a few years he was dead. This guy conquered more territory than anyone but Genghis Khan by 30 fucking 2, and you're still going to be in school taking orders from some fucking bitch, you know? That's mind-blowing to me. That is some of the most stunted real-world development there is, okay? Now, if you are promoting, if you're trying to cure cancer, or you know, you are a scientist, I give you an exception. Our world depends on you guys. We need you. But if you are taking medieval basket weaving or fucking women's studies or some bullshit topic, then you are fucking up, okay? You're fucking up in a major fucking way. Okay, this is a full 30 of your life devoted to a piece of paper that in most cases won't make you any more marketable to your employers. And when it does, you're still a fucking employee being told what to do, who you can spend time with, how much time you can spend with your loved ones, what days you can take off, where to piss, where to shit. Okay, that PhD in women's studies won't help your health. It's not going to help your wealth, and it's not going to help your relationships. And the only thing it's going to prepare you for is a life whittling away in academia or working as a barista at Starbucks. Do not waste your fucking time. That's it, guys. I hope this has been convincing. Again, if you are still under your parents' roof, you are still obligated to listen to your parents. If you're on your own, then you can do whatever the fuck you want. So if you're under your parents' roof and you don't want to go to college, then you have to sell them on why this is not the thing for you, okay? And the way that I would sell your parents is you are telling them that you're 100% committed to starting your own business, okay? If you're going to sell your parents that you're not going to college, they need to know that you're still planning on being successful. They don't want to have wasted all that time raising you to turn into a guy who's just going to smoke weed and jerk off and live in their basement. So they need to know that you have a plan for your business and you have a plan for moving out, because they're not going to want to take care of you the rest of your fucking life, especially if you're you know, a lazy guy. So if you want to sell your parents, take a couple arguments from this post if you like. Don't put my name in it, please. Develop a mission. Have a look at my articles and listen to my articles. Develop your mission in life, what your business is going to be. For your first business, I suggest a service-based business, you know, whether it's real estate or ideally something that you have expertise in, okay? If you're a young, smart guy and you can program, great businesses selling your programming services or selling your web design services. That is a great way to do it. So you want to be able to sell your parents that you're going to start your own business, okay? The other option is to say that you want to take a gap year and do a year in travel. That's something that a lot of people do, and then revisit college. After that, it's something that you can do. Something in some ways I wish that I had done. And thirdly, the last thing I want to say is to allow for some exceptions for guys who are going to go to college. So I know even with all that I'm saying, if you come from a very strong traditional family, I've had a few of you guys email me that the social pressure and the social stigma of not going to college, especially if you're from like an Asian or Indian family, is not something that you're going to be able to stand up to at 18. And I understand. Okay, I came from a relatively liberal family, so it is a different thing for me than it is for you. What I would suggest, if you're not ready to go into the real world and you're not ready to have that conversation with your parents and For some of you guys, I know it's real serious. Your parents might disown you, or some like real hardcore shit. What you want to do is you want to choose majors that are going to be effective in the real world. So something that you can transition to into your own business as soon as possible. And it also helps if that is going to be something that your parents agree with. Okay, some good examples are programming, accounting, possibly business, as long as it's practical. It has to be really like a practical degree. Um, it could be a trade, like you're going to get, you're going to learn a trade like being a carpenter, um, something like that. Okay, it's got to be practical in the real world. It is not a fucking liberal arts degree. It has to be a degree where you can see yourself starting a business with that skill, and you have to like that skill to some degree. If you fucking hate accounting, don't go into accounting, even if your parents are pushing for it. You also probably don't want to go to medicine, because you're going to be in school forever, or law, because for the most part it's difficult to start a practice. If you're going into law and you want to start your own practice, fuck, go for it. But unless you're like a criminal lawyer, most guys have to start at a firm, and the way it works is you just work like a dog until you become partner in your 50s, which is shit. This is a shitty fucking lifestyle. So law or medicine is out, even if your parents are really set on it. I mean, I can't see how you'd be happy doing that. It's got to be something that's going to be practical, and then you can either start a business right out of school with that skill, or you can do like a 2-year apprenticeship. Say you're an accountant, you work for an accounting company for 2 years to learn the real ins and outs, and then go do it on your own. And those are the exceptions. Okay, so that's it, guys. I hope that was informative. Again, this is just my opinion. You got to weigh the decision for yourself, because this is a big fucking decision. And you got to be able to sell it to your parents on its own merits, or you got to pick up your balls and move out and provide for yourself, and live out on your own and show your parents and show everyone that you can do it. Again, I would have never gone to college, and I wish that I had the acumen and the knowledge to have started a business at 18, 19, and the balls to fucking do it. But I didn't, and every year that you don't start a business sets you back, as far as I'm concerned. So there's nothing wrong with trying and starting and failing a business. Okay, if you fail at 19, you're so fucking young, you don't know how young you are. Okay, you've got another 5 or 6, 7 years to keep failing at business and keep trying new things. Okay, because no one's gonna have any money until you guys are like 24 anyways. So why not take the shot? That's what I say. With that said, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And as always, I wish you all the best.